on the eve of Bhagwan's birthday. I'm sure that you must be enjoying the celebrations. We understand this evening and tomorrow morning we have Silver Jubilee celebrations of the Super Speciality Hospital to be attended by Union Health Minister. All these announcements you must have heard there in the auditorium. Well now, since there are just 2 days left for Bhagwan's birthday, I was thinking what I should speak on. What does birthday mean? Why birthday celebration? How to celebrate birthday? What does it mean to me? To me, I mean every devotee. In the first place, my friends, let me tell you, birthday celebration meant expression of thankfulness towards existence. Expression of thankfulness towards existence. Because we are in this existence. Existence, I mean the universe or the 5 elements. We should be highly grateful to earth, very grateful to sky. We should be very grateful to air, the fire, 5 elements, existence. So, Bhagwan's birthday celebration meant thankfulness to existence, towards existence. How to be thankful towards existence? How to be thankful? We think that it is not necessary to be thankful because it's just going on. When there is earthquake, we'll realize there is earth. When there is a bonfire everywhere, when all mansions are burnt, then we will know what fire is. When we suffocate for breath, we will understand what air is. In other words, we take the 5 elements, the universe, existence, for granted. Unless one is withdrawn, we don't understand its importance. Therefore, this calls for thankfulness towards existence. And we cannot take any longer for granted. So my friends, the first step that we have to take in this birthday celebration is gratitude. Gratitude. We are very grateful for this life. We are very grateful for the existence. We are grateful for all that we have. Nothing to complain. Nothing to complain. Because gratitude is the first step leading to the temple of God. First step leading to the temple of God. If we are ungrateful, we can never say that I am getting into a temple. It may be political but not spiritual. Therefore, the spiritual step, first step, is gratitude. Then what? Gratitude, so what should I do? The second step is silence. Absolute silence. Absolute silence, I meant nothingness. In other words, thoughtless state. There are no thoughts at all. Mind is completely withdrawn, totally silent. The senses are silent. All senses withdrawn, eyes closed, ears closed, thoughts stopped. That is the state of silence, nothingness is the second step, that is the final step. We think there are 9 steps or 10 steps, I don't want to bother. Impossible. Are there so many steps? No. The first step is gratitude. Second step is silence. Absolute silence. And this birthday celebration also calls for reminding ourselves the relationship between master and the disciple. Who is a master? Who is a disciple? Are we disciples? There are three stages, my friends. First stage is the stage of a student. The student always wants to know, always inquisitive to learn, to observe, to study. All of us who have come to know of Bhagavan in the earlier period try to listen to everybody about their experiences, about their perception, about their understanding. And we go on studying his books, and we go on watching the beautiful photographs. This is the stage of a student. A student cannot remain a student forever. The next step is that of a disciple. A student should grow into the stage of a disciple. Yes, what is the relationship between master and disciple? Who is a disciple? Disciple is the one who simply follows the footsteps. But may wander, may follow another master later. There's no commitment. Follow this master today, later another master tomorrow. So the position of a disciple is uncertain. You are following this guru this time, another guru next time. So stage of a disciple is a second step. It's not the ultimate. A student should evolve into a disciple, and the disciple should settle down as a devotee. That is the final devotee. A devotee shall never waver. A devotee would be steady. A devotee is established in trust. Therefore, my friends, in our spiritual journey on this day of Bhagavan's birthday celebrations, where am I? Am I a student studying things, observing, or am I a disciple simply following? Any time may jump out. Or am I a disciple totally committed and dedicated, established in trust? That's a kind of self-evaluation, a self-examination at this moment of time. Relation between master and disciple, as I know, is not that of a slavery. Master will never expect you to be a slave. Will never expect you to be a slave. He wants you to be independent. Therefore, the disciple or a devotee should be independent, but not should be wedded to slavery throughout. Because slavery is the behavior of sheep. Sheep simply follow why they do not know. It is the lion that roars. It is the lion that roars. It is the lion that chooses its own path. That's what is meant by Narasimha. Simha, the lion. So we should be lions. God wants, the master wants us to be lion, but not sheep, as I understand. So we should determine, or we should exercise our choice between these two, that of slavery and that of independence. Should I be a slave or should I be independent? That is the choice left. What do I mean by slave? Blind following. What do I mean by slave? Without any kind of questioning, without any sort of inquiry, without any kind of experimentation, without any sort of experience, simply blindly follow. That's what it is. So, am I independent or a slave? A true master wants us to be independent and not to be a slave forever and ever. Then what is the relation between the master and a devotee? The master, what he does is, he takes away your personality so that the individuality would come out. Something like the young one would come out breaking its cocoon, breaking the shell. The master will take away your personality to bring out your individuality. What is the difference between personality and individuality? Personality is all that we are as we look, as we wish others to look at. I want others to look at me this way, so I'll be that way. I want to give a look of that way. So all that I want others to think of me, the kind of gesture or posture or dress or expression, whatever it is, whatever that appeals to others is our personality. But Guru will not allow that. A master will not allow that personality to continue. He will remove that. Why? So as to bring out, expose the individuality. What is individuality? Individuality is nature of the self. It is the nature of the self, nature of the spirit, nature of the consciousness, not the external mask, the external outer dress. It is not dress complex, it is self-consciousness. It is self-awareness. Therefore, the master wants us to have individuality, of that alertness, of wakefulness, of awareness of the self, and not mere external personality. That's what it is. The relationship between the master, I mean the guru you can call it, and the follower or a disciple or a devotee, whatever it may be, what is the relation between me and my God? What is this at this moment? How shall I call it? It is more or less a scientific lab. A scientific lab, a science lab, science laboratory. What is happening in this laboratory? This ashram, this ambience is a laboratory. In this laboratory, what's happening? We're trying to find out. Everyone will have to put a question to oneself. Who am I? Who am I? All experiments are aimed towards this only, to infer, to draw conclusion, to find an answer to this question. Who am I? Who am I? Or else it is just an entertainment. What all that I have here, all that attracts or distracts, all that holds me on is just an entertainment. If this science lab of ashram, if this is science laboratory where I take number of chances to experiment so as to find out my reality, who am I, then the task is fulfilled. That's what it is. In the process, what happens? This mind has got only two steps. Below the mind and above the mind. Below the mind, what happens? we have to consult a psychiatrist. Mind breakdown, something wrong. Therefore some look crazy, think that they are spiritual, they are not. Better they consult psychiatrist. Because they don't look straight. It's not religiousness, something. Therefore, below the state of mind is madness. And just at the level of the mind, the normal mind, the average mind is just secular, worldly, material, physical, mundane, worldly. But our relationship with the Divine Master should help us to go beyond the mind. Beyond the mind. If I just stop at that level of the mind, being secular, mundane, physical, worldly, object is gone. If I don't come out of the university with a degree, all the 3 years of study is in vain. Similarly, if we don't go beyond the state of mind, the purpose is defeated. What is that beyond the mind? What do you call it? Below the normal state of mind is madness. Madness. Above the state of mind is meditation. Meditation is above the state of mind. Why? In the process, mind gets withdrawn. In the process, mind becomes passive. In the process, we are thoughtless. Amanaska, withdrawal of the mind. Therefore, my friends, in the science lab, in this scientific laboratory, what you call ashram, we should take this experiment. We should take up to this experiment to find out who I am. Every opportunity to find out our true nature by growing above the mind, what we call meditation. And this is not an easy thing. After all, theoretically, verbally, vocally, as we listen to that, it may look so simple, but it is not that easy. It's not that simple. A true devotee or a disciple whom you may call, committed to a master, is a seeker of truth. He is a seeker of truth. Am I a seeker of truth? Truth chhod do. I am not bothered about the truth. I am bothered about my business. I am bothered to hand over letter to Swami. I am bothered about my professional prospects. I am very much concerned about my promotions. My thought is full of my arthritis, joint pains, or conjunctivitis, or cataract. Mind is just going around the blood pressure and the sugar levels. That's all. Seeker after truth is such a cheap thing. And because I don't get any money by seeking the truth. What is the cost of the truth, I don't know. Why I am not truthful? When I am not truthful, why should I run after truth? Not necessary. I don't mind running after hospitals. I don't mind running after medical stores. Because I get some cure. But what is a true disciple, a true spiritual aspirant whom you call sadhaka, is a seeker of truth. And as I seek truth, I need to be disciplined. I need to be disciplined. What kind of discipline we know? There are some people, I don't know how far you agree with me, when we are all seated, some volunteer will come there. Shh, silence, silence. His shouting disturbs the silence. It adds to the noise already. Something like gas chamber. It's not that. Discipline does not mean imposition of rules and regulations on others. Discipline is not military regimentation. Discipline is not enforcement. Discipline is disciplining one's own self. I discipline myself first. Let me be disciplined. I don't want to discipline you. It's left to you. This sort of a discipline, physical, psychological and intellectual discipline, is most essential for every seeker of truth to be worthy of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And then what kind of discipline I should impose myself? It's not necessarily the way the society expects. It's not necessarily the family expects. It's not that. It's not the religious expectation. It is not parental concern. It is not societal obligation. Discipline means what? A kind of challenging spirit. Rebellious spirit, rebellious. I'm not able to bear falsehood. I'm not able to tolerate anything that is not real. I cannot identify myself which is not true. I'm so particular to know the truth. And that needs challenging spirit, a courageous spirit, a rebellious spirit. That's what a true seeker is. And then what happens? In that rebellious spirit, in that challenging spirit, we find ourselves transformed. While disciplining others, they don't get transformed. You get sufficient bad name, enough for next life also. That's what we find many people are really praying for that. Brought forward of the bad name next life. It's not that. As I discipline myself, there is transformation, noticeable transformation within myself, conspicuous to others as well. I also understand society could not control me. Institutions could not discipline me. All the religious practices could not discipline me. It may help me to have what Baba calls stunt. Many people say, stunt chesta unnao, stunt, dramatic. So all that we do is dramatic, stunt, show. Baba says clearly, yemi anta show, idanta yemi, anta stunt chesta undare. All this is stunt and show. Therefore, self-discipline meant transformation. It's not societal or parental, as I told you, altogether. Then why disciplining myself? Why should I discipline myself? What for? Because I really want to be. I really want to be. To be what? Of my being. Till now, I want to become a convener, become a state president, become national president, international president, galaxy president, planetary president, universal president. All that. Then, what next step? Ground level. District level, state level, national level, international level. And the flight has to land someday. It cannot fly all the time, right? Therefore, my friends, disciplining oneself meaning to be what I am. To be what I am meaning I am the being. When once I'm interested in my being, I don't have any more of interest to become. When I have this interest to become something, yes, forget about your being. They're just opposite. The fire and water will never go together. Those who are after becoming, good, continue. Oh Swami, help me to become the president. He will make you the president, followed by headache. That's not necessary. So becoming, if you go to God or your guru, to your master to become, it is not spiritual. It is commercial. It is financial. It is bargain. It is selfish. Useless. If it is really spiritual, really meaningful and fruitful, a devotee needs to discipline himself to be, to experience his being and not to become that what it is. Accept as it is. How do I know my being? I know what I would be by becoming. By becoming some office bearer, I'll have few followers behind me, just thinking that I would do some favor. I need all the favors from them. And for the fellows that follow you, can't help you because they themselves are helpless. So the point is, I know what I get by becoming head of an institution, head of an organization, becoming. By being, what do I get? That's what we want, because everything is a budget plan, you know. Everything is balance sheet. What do I get by being? The answer is simple. How to be? How to become, we know, by getting the degree, by seeking the favors of the higher authorities. But how to be is one thing left to you. Nobody can help you. There's only one way how to be. To know the being, what is it? Only way. That is utter emptiness. Utter emptiness. Void, abysmal, deep valley. There is a deep valley inside. Abysmal and nothing, a big zero. That kind of emptiness is required to be. Emptiness of what? Emptiness of my arrogance. I should empty myself of my ego, of my prestige, of my dignity, of my qualification. Everything you should empty yourself. The moment I am emptied, there is no ego. The total egolessness, total, complete, absolute egolessness is the only way to be, to become just the reverse. And that's not a spiritual path. That's what I would like to draw your attention. Now there are two phases in our life. One is contentment, other is discontentment. I got a small house, discontented. I need a big house, discontented, because I want neighbor's house also. Still discontented. Whole street should belong to me. If not possible, I'll grab. Own or grab. That's modern life. So, all right, I got everything. I'm number one. That fellow needs divine discontentment. I repeat, the one who has achieved a lot of wealth, the one who attained prestigious post of office, the one with all academic distinctions, qualifications, needs divine discontentment. Divine discontentment to a material man, to a worldly man, is curative. It is a prescription. It is a medicine given to him. And a fellow, take this medicine because power is not end of all. Today you are power, tomorrow you will be powerless. Of course, even with power we know many who are powerless. What is there in a power? It's not enough. And you have all the money. Well, what happens? We know many people. We know what's happening to that. So the fellow who are contented in the physical life, who feels proud of himself, of all his achievements, attainments of so and so, needs the therapy, treatment of divine discontentment. No, there is something more. There is something more, not this, not this. Something more, something beyond. This is not all. Because it was Gautam Buddha who had this divine discontentment. What is that he is denied? What is that he does not have? The whole kingdom at his disposal. All palaces around him. But he developed a kind of divine discontentment that made him to completely walk out of the palace in the midnight. Mahavira simply came out like that. Mirabai simply walked out like that. Meaning with all worldly satisfaction, with all worldly attainments, they developed that divine discontentment. Then how about the other side now? There cannot be, there is no scope for divine discontentment in the spiritual path. In the spiritual path, there is no scope for divine discontentment. Why? Spiritually I am aware, I should be aware. Rather, I am supposed to be aware that God gives me what I deserve. That I get what I deserve. He knows the best. He gives you what you really deserve at this moment. What is good for you in the long interest. In the best of your interest, He gives you. So a spiritual man can never have divine discontentment. Impossible. If he is still discontented in the spiritual path, he will be thrown to the other side. Discontentment of material things. Discontentment of material things, he will be thrown into that. Instead, a spiritual man is never discontented. Why? He will take care of me. He knows best. He decides. Good. Why should I bother? Sitting in a train, in a moving train, in a compartment, I keep all my luggage down because that compartment will carry all my luggage. I don't need to keep on my head. If any fellow keeps the luggage on his head while traveling a train, what is that you're doing? Poor train cannot carry the luggage of all of us. Such a heavy burden. I believe in ahimsa. Fool number one. Similarly, if I prefer, if I choose, there comes the problem. Life is choiceless awareness. Let us understand. Karmadata vasama naruda. Karmadata vasama. What is destined to happen is sure to happen in life. Of course, that doesn't mean why you need to be lazy. No. I mean, we do what all that is possible. Get prepared what is to happen finally, or which I have no choice. I have choice to read or not to read, whether I pass in distinction or not. Hari Om. It is left to him. I have choice to eat or not. Digestion is left to him. I have choice to rest on bed or sit. Heartbeat is there. Therefore, my friends, this is choiceless awareness. A spiritual man is fully conscious of this choiceless awareness, and therefore he will not have any kind of divine discontentment. We know many people who are not rich. Who are not rich, highly spiritual people, just lead average life, but they smile a lot. They smile. Where there are many people who are rich people with bank accounts. Of course, now that money is all useless. I mean, before 8th of November. Pre-November 8th is post-8th. Because even with 1,000 rupees, you don't get one single idli. That is the position today. You will have all thousands here. Not even a cup of tea and one idli. Where you are rich beggar. We are all rich beggars today. Good. Why not? We have satisfaction of richness. Beggar because we don't have anything to eat. No change. So my friends, a spiritual man, whether he has got plenty or not, whether he is plentiful or awful, he is not bothered. He is quite happy. Because there cannot be divine discontentment in a spiritual man. He is always happy. He rejoices. He smiles. He laughs. He moves freely amongst everybody. He dances and sings. Singing, rejoicing, smiling are the features of a spiritual man, because he has no spiritual discontentment. Whereas worldly discontentment will always get you worried. I am a minister when I become chief minister. I am a chief minister when I am going to become prime minister. I am a minister how to throw out the next minister. This is the struggle. Whereas a spiritual man has no competition, has no comparison. He doesn't want to become anything because he is always established in the spirit of his being. Sat Chit Ananda. Being is Sat Chit Ananda, the existence, awareness and bliss. In the existential reality of the self or the being, there is no scope for discontentment. So my understanding of a religious man from Sai literature and others says this: we have no reason to be serious. We have no reason to be stiff. We have no reason to be tight-lipped. Some are tight-lipped because I am a religious man. Okay. Good. For all these people, Baba constructed 2 hospitals. Is bad enough, general hospital. Something beyond, super. No, we should be happy. If we are not happy in the spiritual path, where else can we be happy? In the state of discontentment and unhappiness, misery and sorrow, how can we claim to be spiritual? Meaningless, ridiculous, hypocritic. Because a spiritual man leaves everything in the hands of God. Where is the reason to feel sorry about it? That's what we have got to know about it. Now what happens? Why am I happy? Why are you happy? Because we are in the company of the embodiment of happiness. We are in the company of the embodiment of happiness. Ananda, Paramananda, Brahmananda, Advaitananda, the non-dual bliss, the supreme bliss, bliss embodied is Bhagavan Sri Sat Sai Baba. Being his devotee, being close to him, I can also be smiling. I can also be rejoicing. I can also laugh. I can also sing and dance. Why not? In front of blissful Lord, if I am serious, meaning I am closer to the grave, closer to the grave. It is only in the graveyard or the burial where people are serious. Grim face is the expression of the grave. I never saw Swami very serious face. I never saw all these 45 years. With all the problems, with all the physical problems, as we know, plenty of problems, with all the problems of all people around, but still he smiles. That is spirituality. I can be happy if everything is comfortable. Buffalo also can be very happy when everything is comfortable. Fellows need not wait for that. In the midst of the storm, in the midst of the turbulence, in the midst of agitation, in the midst of disturbance, in the midst of misery, ups and downs, lashes and slashes, if I continue to be happy, I'm a spiritual man. I'm a spiritual man if I continue to be happy, in spite of, irrespective of. Unconditional. That's what it is. Yes, by being in that state, what happens? All right, if I'm happy, what do I get? Yeah, I don't know what people want to get more than happiness. Commercial mind. By being serious, I can get something, because people think I'm of high position, so they'll be coming and greeting me. Oh, this man, oh, I see. By just smiling and like being close to everybody, I may look some cheap to everybody. Put on some serious face, as if you are getting into operation theater. The fellow should be admitted, not others. So it's not that. What is it? Happiness is the ultimate goal of life. Bliss is the ultimate, because bliss is God. God is bliss. Anandam Brahma. Anandajheva khalvimani bhutani jayante. Anandam jatani jivanti. Yat prayant sabhisanvishanti. Comes out of bliss, sustained in bliss, goes back to bliss. In that stage, what is the next? The next. Glass of water. Good. If I just throw out all this water into the ocean, what will happen? This water is part of that ocean. Then once I throw out this water out of this glass into the ocean, this becomes the ocean. Ocean is not separate from this. Similarly, my friends, in this spirit of divine contentment, with all rejoicing, with all happiness abiding, I am a drop. To experience that I'm an ocean, not a drop. You are not a drop, you are an ocean. That oceanic bliss, that oceanic depth, that oceanic vastness, that oceanic experience, God confers on us. God helps us to be oceanic. Therefore, my friends, bliss is not ordinary. Bliss is extraordinary. Bliss is not limited. Bliss is unlimited. Limited to the individual. When once we break out, it becomes unlimited. Drop becomes the ocean. I am the universal, not individual. When you limit yourself, you are individual. When you expand in bliss, you are universal. That universality, unity, university, universality, based on this oneness. Out of that oneness, all these things happen. So I can be cosmic, I can be universal. In this blissful state, they are limiting myself to an individual level. Yes? Coming to Swami, watching his photograph, participating in bhajans, chanting Gayatri mantra, going around Ganesha a number of times, getting into mandir for meditation, are the daily exercises we are used to. And we think that we are going to be enlightened. Because one gentleman was telling me, for the last 30 years I am attending Nagar Sankirtan. Anil Kumar, you know that? I told him, thank you sir, congratulations. But I want to know why I should know. You are going right. Why I should know? Meaning, special. Something like army people who have some stars, or police people. Nagar Sankirtan star, Sevadal star, Mandir star, he becomes a superstar. That's not that, that's not that. Well, what is real enlightenment? What is the sign of enlightenment? How do you identify? How did you recognize an enlightened man? Buddha never said, I am enlightened. Whereas we declare, for the last 30 years I am coming. If you say you are coming for the last 30 years, I pity you 30 times more than what I should pity you. Because you are changeless, colorless, odorless, tasteless gas. What for? Therefore, my friends, enlightenment is not an expression. Enlightenment is not a declaration. Enlightenment is experience, is an experience. And that enlightenment, yes, you are not going to attain attainment. You are. The personification, the totality is what you are. Yes, then that is the true celebration of Baba's birthday. Simple incidental I may mention you. A very famous writer in Telugu literature by name Gudipati Venkatachalam, very well known for his prose. He settled in Ramanashram towards the end of his life. Very famous man. He happened to go to Ramanashram and he saw Ramana Maharshi from a distance. Ramana Maharshi used to climb the mountain every day with the help of a stick. This man watched him and Ramana Maharshi passed by. He watched him and he looked at him. Enough. Chalam became a saint. Enough. He became a saint. Just a look. Somebody asked him, sir, did he talk to you? Just like our people ask, did you get Pada Namaskar? Did he get interview? Did he give vibhuti at least? As if it is so cheap. Huh? So, with the same temperament, what did you get? People asked him. Did Ramana Maharshi talk to you? Then you know what Chalam said? We attained that saintly level. Why should he waste his time by talking to me? Why should I waste my master's time? Is not a look enough? Is not a look enough to ignite that kind of fire in me? The fire in me can be ignited just by a look. Not necessary marathon interviews. Somebody was giving a talk. In the course of the talk he mentioned, I got 60 interviews. As if Sachin Tendulkar cricket runs or something. I pitied that fellow. You are a child. You are a child. 60 interviews he has given and you have not changed. Waste of time. You are in the hospital for 6 months. You have not improved your health. Next, better be sent through the back door to the mortuary. What for? Therefore, if we are really worthy of it, if we are really mature enough, if we are really ripened, if we are ready, a look is enough, a look is enough. But there are some even crossed that level. The whole of South America, Peru, Argentina, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, Argentina. Number of devotees are there. They never visited this place. The way how they talk, with all the radiance on their face, with all the joy, thrill and excitement, we pity ourselves. We are not even a fraction in front of them. Meaning, a thought of Swami made them better souls than all of us. Therefore, it depends upon worthiness, not the period of time that we spend, or number of visits that we make. That's what it is clear. So, if I go to that state of enlightenment, if I am enlightenment, no need to express gratitude. Baba will be happy. I have not wasted my time talking to this fellow. Useless, number one. I have not wasted my time in giving him interviews. I have wasted my time in allowing him to occupy a position who brought a bad name to the position itself. Let him feel happy that the divine time is properly utilized, that the divine time is completely exploited for the betterment of my own soul to realize my being. That's what it is. Therefore, my friends, this birthday celebration also should help us to be strongly convinced that all our movement, that all our thoughts, that all our conversations, that all our interrelationships are based on our own experience. Our own experience. If one says, I had better experience there, oh, please remain there, don't disturb me. How do you say yours is a better experience than my experience? Experience is experience. There can be better experience, a higher experience, lower experience, average experience. Is there any weighing machine? Huh? It's not so. Let every one of us here be very clear. My conviction, my chosen path, my life is based on my own experience, which is the reality, not Xeroxed or carbon copy or photostat copies. It's my own. That's what is required. Therefore, my friends, worthiness that we have to develop. I know the time. I'm coming closer towards the end because the thread should not be discontinued haphazard way, abruptly. So what I want to tell you is this. Let us take responsibility of our actions. Some people say, hey, why it is happening? Swami will take care. How about your idli and dosa? You are taking care. This is called an escape. Spirituality is not an escape. Spirituality is not evasion. Something like escaping from the income tax. Why do you do that? Therefore, my friends, I should hold responsibility for my own actions. I failed in the examination. I can't say, Baba failed me. You fellow, you are going to movies twice a week. How do you expect to get through the examination? I am responsible for my actions. Those people who don't want to take that responsibility, they seek refuge in the name of God, shelter in the name of religion. Do you know what Baba said? We don't want to know what he said because our wants are so many. Our wants are so many that we don't want to hear him. Do you know what he said? I don't curse you. I don't bless you either. I don't reward you. I don't punish you. Why, Swami? I am only a postman. If a postman gives you a wedding card, I don't hug the postman and give him a kiss. And if the postman brings me a threatening letter, I won't kill him at the doorstep. The wedding card or a threatening letter is based upon the one who sent me, and I hear. Postman is only a witness. That's what Baba said. I am a witness. I am not responsible. If your faith cures, Your trust rewards, not mine. Understand it. Then Swami, why should I be here? I'll give you strength to bear the problems. I'll give you courage to bear the problems, not remove the problems. If you go on removing the problems, you are a chartered accountant, Swami, helping me to evade taxes. They'll be very busy now, I believe. So he is not here to help you to evade your tax or exemption of tax or tax evasion. No. He will help you to see how best to pay the tax. Similarly, we have to face the consequences of our life with all the courage and attitude to bear whatever that is destined to happen. Accept one's own responsibility. That's what it is. How to be worthy of Baba is the next question that we have to put to ourselves on this occasion as we celebrate his birthday. How can I be worthy of Baba? Putting on a scarf. A scarf and a badge. How can I be worthy of Baba? Wearing white dress. White, how about the dark inside? You know, coconut has two colors. Coconut, one color outside, one color inside. Am I a coconut? No. So, what is worthiness? Yes, worthiness, to be worthy of Baba, is this, to be more humble. I should be more humble. I should be more simple. I should be more grateful. I should be more approachable. I should be more courteous. I should be more amicable. I should be more loving. I should be more friendly. That's what worthiness is all about. If I'm a bulldog, barking, shouting at everybody, I'm very unworthy of Baba. Your worthiness is very much expressed in your relationships, in your talk, thought, word and deed. 2, egolessness. Egolessness. Is it possible to be egoless? Why not? We don't think that way because we are very comfortable by being egoistic. Yes. If I'm egoistic, people will think that I'm special. Ego is the quality of a dog. Dogs are highly egoistic. Dogs of this street will not allow the dog of the neighboring street. That's why we hear they bark at regular intervals throughout the night. We don't need alarms in Puttaparthi. We don't need alarm because they bark at regular intervals. There are no thefts also here because dogs will keep you awake throughout night. So my friends, the point is, my humility, my simplicity, my friendliness, my loving nature is all worthiness. You are worthy of Baba with these qualities, not anything else. And then accept whatever he says. Accept whatever he says. I like this statement, if only. I agree with him, but. There are no ifs and buts here. Sometimes we may not agree with his words, but we agree with his being. We agree with his being. Baba's being is divine. Your being is divine. So this divine is as much as that divine. If I consider the divine in me separate, it is wine, alcohol. Therefore, my friends, accept his being unconditionally by being open and frank. Accept his being, that is his divinity. If you go by his words, as he talks to her, I am highly jealous. If he does not talk to me, blood pressure. If he gives Pada Namaskar, I'll see the end of that person. If he doesn't give me, I'll fast tonight. So words are not important. Interviews, conversations, gifts are not important. Because we go by a physical body, but we should agree with his being. The being of Baba. B-A-B-A. First B is being. Next A is awareness. Third B is bliss. The last A is Atma, Ananda, Baba. Being, awareness, bliss. So that's what it is. Agree with his being. Not simply following. Be yourself. By simply walking, there we see people running. Why don't run? Be yourself. Calm down, be yourself. Withdraw yourself. Then you will experience that totality. Finally, my friends, by remaining in silence, establish my being not mindful of becoming. What happens? I'll be in holy communion with my Lord. Communion with God within. Communion is different from communication. Communication is oral, verbal, written. Communion is silent within, inner prompting, silent whispers, wordless word. Wordless word. Therefore, my friends, let us try to have communion with Swami. It's time, high time, as he is not physically available in our midst. The best way is to have communion with him in a state of silence by the process of meditation. Other than this, all the rest is entertainment. I watched some program yesterday. Entertainment. I'm not enlightened. Entertainment is different from enlightenment. If I appreciate only rhythm, beat, instruments during bhajan, it is music entertainment. But if I commune myself with the deity, with the name of, the matchless name of God, and link myself within, you are in holy communion. That you get lost in that state. May Bhagavan help us in this process of spiritual evolution. Again, I greet you on this happy occasion, on the eve of celebration of Bhagavan's birthday. May Bhagavan be with you forever and evermore. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. On this happy occasion, I have the pleasure in announcing and also to introduce a highly accomplished person, a doctor by profession, but yet a devotee at heart. Professionally a doctor, at heart 100% devotee. Completely surrendered to Swami, because the couple attained what all that is possible in this world. They headed their hospitals as doctors. They occupied first rank in their position. Yes. Therefore, they wanted to spend their time here in Prashantinilayam. They have been here for the last couple of years. They are not for socializing. They are not for any positions or recognition. They are completely for Swami. No one between them and Swami. They spend their time in reading Swami literature, constantly thinking of him, constant integrated awareness. And they did not stop at that stage. The grand lady, great lady, Neeru Malhotra, doctor, she has written so many books in Hindi. Many of the books are available in English, but Hindi population is really craving for Sai literature, craving. And she has come forward, and so far she translated 8 of the books, and around 5 are still in waiting. Her translation work is going on at a supersonic speed. If I am to say, she is faster than a jet fighter in translating Sai literature into Hindi. We are all proud of her, ably assisted by her husband, who is equally great, a man of sacrifice and discipline. Both of them are doctors. One book, the first book, Divya Yatra, a translated version of the book Divine Journey. Second, Brahmanandiya, Chaitanya. Please, because I don't want to commit mistakes in my pronunciation. At least, I think tolerably good in English and Telugu. I don't want you to manhandle me by my wrong pronunciation. Please. Yeah.
The name of the English book I'll read out, and then the Hindi translation. Divine Journey, Divya Yatra, Cosmic Consciousness, Brahmandiya Chaitanya, Here and Now, Yahan Va Abhi, Seeking Within, Antah Anveshan, Rays of Radiance, कांति की किरणें, भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा की सार्विक व व्यावहारिक शिक्षाएं, that's the translation of universal and practical teachings of भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा. Between you and me, तुम्हारे मेरे मध्य, quest eternal, शाश्वत खोज. And the books which have been translated already and are under various stages of printing are Divine Reflections, that is Divya Anuchintan, Memories and Memoirs. Part 1 has been already done, and the second one is by the author is coming soon. That is Madhur Sansmaran, Satyupanishad by the same name as Satyupanishad, Ambrosial Shah's Divine, Divya Sudha Vrishti, and Divine Reverberations, Divya Pratidhwani. And some more books are still being done. As you all know, Professor has already authored more than 30 books. So it's a long way still to go. Sai Ram.
Let's all give her a big hand, please. A thundering applause. Yes. Well, I'm not satisfied with this. I want to do something more. I request Kalyan Ram and Vijay Kalyan Ram to go over here and felicitate them. Kindly go over here. Kalyan Ram, Vijay, you both come here. You don't hear me. I'm known for my loud voice. Please come over here. Oh, clap, come on. And those of you, the Hindi readers, can have this list, Xerox copies. We'll get them ready next time. So whosoever wants, we'll supply the list. Because the Hindi readers, they're pulling my collar. Why not in Hindi, Anil Kumar? Unfortunately, my wife is Hindi teacher and I don't know Hindi. I gave her sufficient time to forget her Hindi and I could not pick up single word. And we have got Sevadal to help us in staff quarters. When Hindi people come there, I have to request her, please tell them to do this, to be careful and all that. So that is the time she dominates me. Anyway, thank you. समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति शांति शांति। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सच्चाई बाबा जी की जय बोलो भगवान श्री सच्चाई बाबा जी के। Here you go. Thank you.